pressure and weight. Bills on the table, emotions debate. Some days distance, share one bed. Other days you my peace in my head. Learning your language, not raising my tone. Showing up even when I feel alone. I protect your heart, not just your name. You see my flaws, but love me the same. If we fall, we don't run. If it hurts, we don't numb. We rebuild, we forgive. That's how grown love lives. The source is God seasoning you and me. Top plus 10, 3 funded degrees, finished dish, marriage and a family.
This for the couples hanging by faith, for the ones still dating, moving with grace. Chivalry ain't flowers or social displays. How you show up when it's hard to stay. Respecting the tone, truth and the pain. Choosing growth over walking away. This ain't fantasy, it's real life heat. Love slow cook, yeah, that's how you
Love ain't clean, but it's worth the scars. Every breakdown build who we are. Patience, pain, honesty. That's the recipe.
Recipe to chivalry.
From the hurt to the harmony. That's the recipe.
Recipe to chivalry. Recipe to chivalry. Keep cooking.
Alrighty.
Hello, everyone. How are
How
you?
you guys doing? How are you doing?
I am Quintella,
And I am Kel.
and this is Recipe to Chivalry.
Yeah. All right.
How y'all doing
How y'all
today?
doing? Excuse me, I gotta put that out there.
Oh yeah, I got the
I
colors
put
on
that-
it.
I put
Please.
that out
I ain't got the
there.
orange on, but yeah,
I don't have to say much. Y'all know what it is.
I know that's right.
So anyway, as customary, we'll start with short prayer.
Go ahead.
All right, Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for today. Lord, we thank you for the topics that we're able to bring. We ask that it reach out to people so they can have a safe place. They know they can come in and talk about anything. We ask that it blesses us and touches someone. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And amen.
All right.
All right.
Alrighty. We are not going to waste time here.
Not at all.
We're going to go ahead and get started.
That's right. Things to do.
Yeah, I was going to wait, try to see if someone's coming on, but
We're going to continue on.
We're going to continue on. So you can always go back and catch the replay.
Definitely. We'll have it replay and recycling as always.
Please subscribe, share, and like.
Always.
All
Get the word out. Come and join us. Come and be with us. Let's see who just got on. Hey, our favorite person.
We got our favorite person here that comes on a regular basis. What up, V?
What up? How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. All right. So, as I said, we're going to try and go ahead and get started.
All right. New York in the house.
You know it.
You see, he representing.
Yeah.
So,
I gotta do it. All right. So, as you can see, the caption today is
mental health awareness. Breaking the silence.
All right, so this is something that's very near and dear.
And I think we got probably one of the most perfect people on for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is one of her fields, one of her many specialties.
All right, so definitely dive in. All right, so welcome back. Let me get myself situated here.
Go ahead. You and your notes.
Excuse me.
You want me to take it or you want to go ahead?
You can go ahead. You can take it.
Okay, well, welcome back. The gender debate. Today we will be taking a deep dive into mental health awareness, a critical issue that touches all of our lives. As we explore this topic, we will focus on how men and women both experience and discuss mental health differently. Our goal is to uncover the underlying factors that influence those perspectives and promote a better understanding of mental health challenges.
So let us get started.
All right, that's his little.
All right, so to provide a context for our conversation, let's examine some relevant statistics, as always.
As always, you know, he's going to do his
So,
statistics.
According to the World Health Organization, mental health disorders will affect 1 in 4 individuals globally at some stage in their lives. Here are some key statistics to consider. Depression and anxiety. Studies reveal that women are nearly twice as likely as men to experience major depression. Approximately 21% of women in the United States report experiencing anxiety disorders compared to 13% of men. I wonder why that is.
Maybe because we're more vocal.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I think it is too.
Maybe because of the emotional thing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm about to get into, because we're more in touch
about
our feelings, where men are you
kind of cut off.
And you're cut off because, you know, even at a small age, even as a mother, I've done it to my son. You know, he get hurt or something fun, I'm like, suck it up. You're a man, you know, or you're a little boy. And I think maybe that part or that psychological, us imparting that into them, they feel, maybe I feel, or in your psyche that, okay, you're not supposed to express maybe your feelings. So maybe that's why the statistics are as low as it is. I'm quite sure it would probably be higher if more men would come forth and, you know, or would go to therapy. You glitching out, babe.
I know. Just give me a second.
You glitching out.
Give me 1 second. All right. So I could definitely see that. Where are we?
We're at let's discuss the first rate, suicide. Suicide rates. It says the suicide rate for a man is significantly higher for women, with men accounting for, okay, wait a minute. The suicide rate for men is higher significantly than for women, with men accounting for about 75% of all suicides.
Now that's
which makes
it funny, being that the first statistic, you guys are much higher.
But it makes sense. So again,
men, I guess, hold it in so much.
Right, because you're suffering in silence.
Yes.
So that's why, again, you're not dealing with that emotional part of it. Or some men feel like, you know, going to therapy, even you know, you don't always feel like therapy is something that could work, or, you know what I mean? Or
not always, it just depends on which type of therapy we're talking about. Sometimes, I mean, me particularly, I think when I say that, I refer to like marriage counseling therapy or something like that. I think I don't know. I'm not.
We're gonna get into that one. Why he don't think marriage counseling don't work, but okay.
All right, so
let's deal with this.
This discrepancy highlights the urgent need for addressing how men cope with the mental health issues, and that's definitely true.
Okay, so let's kind of. Did you want to dive into that on the male perspective a little more?
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit.
Okay.
Help seeking behavior. We got another guest.
How you doing today? How you doing?
You're trying to say your face. Here. Hi, Kyle.
Hi. You got a special guest.
Hello.
How are you today?
Just got into California.
Hi.
Glad to have you.
Glad to have you. Welcome.
Happy to be here.
All right, so today's topic is mental health awareness and breaking the silence. We're discussing some statistics on how men cope and how women cope differently with mental health awareness.
And what we came up with so far was, according to statistics, as far as depression and anxiety, studies show that women are more likely to experience major depression, about 21% of women and only 13% of men. And as far as suicide rates, that rate for men is significantly higher at 75% for all suicides compared to women. So we were discussing exactly why that is. And now we're on the part of help-seeking behaviors. Would you like to take that?
Yeah, so what we kind of discussed after those statistics were that we believe that women do the depression a little higher than men because they're more emotionally attached
Right. So we're
and
vocal
in
about.
touch with their feelings. Where men, because of the suicide rate being so high, is because we kind of suppress our feelings, and then it implodes eventually because we don't we don't see the, I don't know how to explain, but the need to show our vulnerability when it comes to seeking help for these type of things because we're so emotionally bound, for lack of better words.
So that's where we get into the help seeking behaviors. Because research indicates that only 36% of men will seek help for mental health issues, where 51% of women will. Um,
And I mean that's a social norms around masculinity and vulnerability,
so that
definitely.
definitely, I think so.
So these statistics illuminate the different ways both genders experience and respond to mental health concerns.
Okay.
So now it's time for questions, right?
First question for the women. Go ahead.
Let's begin with female perspective. Women, why do you think you are more likely to seek help with mental health issues compared to men? Anybody can chime in.
Well,
You don't
then,
want me to chime in? I'll keep talking.
oh, that's why we're here. Yes, yes, we do.
To
That's why this is what this platform is for.
add to what you said, they get more support only from other females when they
Mhm.
feel like the burden is too high, but the society, like you said, culturally norm says that women are supposed to talk, whereas men are supposed to be strong and hold it in. Dads will punish their kids. Don't cry in front of people. You got to
Mhm.
be a man. You have to be macho. So they're taught from the start that you don't let it out or else you're failing.
Right.
Or
Absolutely.
you're not showing strength, which you want to show strength internally as a man. So
Okay.
I think that's a
Definitely.
big part of it. It's
I
just a
definitely agree.
cultural thing.
I see it a little bit different. I see it that women are verbal and men are thinkers. So that's where the difference is.
I do agree with that because we talked about before where another podcast was like women, they seek answers to certain things and we look for solutions. So I think that kind of goes along with what he was saying. So I agree with that. So with that being said,
Well, that being said, I see your wife is smiling. She disagrees. Go ahead, explain.
do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't disagree with that at all. Not at all.
Okay, well, keep in mind. Let me give you some statistics.
Okay.
For speech, 38% of your speech is tones. So whether you raise your voice or lower it, that's 38% of whatever you say.
Right.
7% is verbal, so the actual words that are coming out. And 55%, take a guess. Just go ahead, anybody. Take a guess what
It's your
55%
body
is.
language. It's your facial
Body
expression.
language.
Both of those
Absolutely.
things. Yeah, absolutely.
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 Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those, my
So,
body
yeah,
language.
and your body language talk to me, so maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah. On this
She
one,
wears
yeah.
her emotion on her sleeve.
I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah, this one you're reading it wrong. I definitely do agree with that so far. Everything that you're saying, I'm just trying to give everybody else more of a chance to talk before I put my input in. That's all.
All
V,
right.
V,
Yeah, that's all.
can you hear us, V? You got anything?
Can
Yeah.
you repeat the question? Mommy came over, so
Oh, okay.
She
Okay.
she
interrupted
was yeah, she was talking to me.
right
Okay, so
there.
the question is for women, it was that from a female perspective, why do you think women are more likely to seek mental health compared to men?
Hold on.
Hold on, let John in.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry, you said why are women more likely to seek
Women are
what was
most likely
Why? Why?
why we are most likely to seek mental health to get help for our mental health issues than men.
oh yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with what the other young lady said. Um I feel like women are more emotional. We talk, we talk a lot, and so sometimes that safe space may be like a therapist. And you can always talk to your friends or whatever, but sometimes you're like, okay, yeah, I don't think that my friends can handle this. I'm really dealing with something. I need to go, seek help. And I feel like men are often, and Quinn, you touched on this as well, men are often trained from a young age to suck it up. Like men are not supposed to cry. Men are not supposed to have emotions. A boy crying, you shut all that crying up. You know what I mean? Like men are often taught to not really um, deal with and express their emotions, whereas women, we've always been more emotional than men. So I think that that plays a part into why we're just willing to go, seek therapy.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to seek our communities. We're going to utilize our networks typically. And those things are normally promoted among us as women. We're going to seek out that help. We're going to look for those networks and those connections in order to get what we need
And
compared to men.
you see more group therapies and stuff like
Yeah,
that like
for
that.
women, right. And we're going to talk about our struggles and, and it's more acceptable also within our community than it would be for men.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I definitely think so because as women, we'll get around and be like, "Yeah, I went to therapy. It changed my life." And it's like, "Oh yeah, who did you go see?
Right,
You got any recommendations?" We'll definitely do that. I don't know that men do that. Do y'all
right.
do
Do
that?
men do that?
Men do
Yeah,
not.
bro. I went to
Only
therapy last
if
week. I laid it all out.
your wife say go to therapy or you're gone.
Right,
Some help.
right. They're like, you went to therapy. What you go to therapy for?
Well, I think it's a learn that V. Both you guys are right, and V was on key all the way. But what happens to men? Men try to live up to the ego. You
True.
got to be tough. You got to be a man. So that's where we're at. We're taught, as both of you just said, we're taught to be tough, to live through it, to ride it out. So we won't, that ego tells us if you get sick, don't go to the doctor. Don't let anybody know you're sick for men.
Right.
Women are totally different. We're taught different. So men try to live up to the ego of being tough. Whether you're mama's boy or not, you still try to live up to the ego of being tough.
Absolutely. We have
You know
anybody?
what, Carl? I agree with what you said 100%. But when men are sick, baby, y'all
We turn
turn
into big
into
babies.
2 year
We turn
olds.
into big babies. I do agree. I do agree.
V, that only means that we're truly sick, sick.
The
Is
world is
that what it
coming
is?
to an end.
Okay.
The world is coming to an end. Everything's about to stop. And,
Look, a cold will take y'all, a good cold will take y'all out, please. Oh,
so what I want to do here shortly, real quick, is Stacy. That's my sister Vonda. Vonda, this is my sister Stacy.
Come on,
that's what you heard.
Oh, hey,
nice to
Stacy.
meet
Nice
you.
to meet you, girl.
Yeah, I'm glad I joined.
Yes.
So
All right.
Kyle, if you want to, I think Stacy will accept. You set a link out each week. I think
Yes.
Stacy will accept it if you send it out to her phone. You got her phone number?
I believe we
I
do.
think so. It's
Send
been a
me
while.
if not, hit me on Facebook, Stacy.
Okay.
Okay.
Send me your email.
Okay.
All right. So now we'll switch it up a little bit. Where were we?
We're doing the male's
So
perspective.
so while men acknowledge that women have more support structure, it seems that it's essential to recognize that men also experience significant struggles. Both often feel isolated.
Mm.
So societal expectations for men can be stoic, can create a barrier that women may not face. It's not necessarily that men don't want help; they might feel it's not an option.
And again, that is society. That goes back to like what I was saying from the very beginning, how we raise our men not to have that safe space to maybe express themselves or to feel as if they can get help. So
And
which is really something that needs to change. It's,
I
I
agree.
guess for so long, we worry that maybe if we see our son crying or doing something, it's going to make him too soft, so we're trying to keep him, especially, with everything going on, You want him to be a man, to have a family, X, Y, and Z. And anything outside of that, we feel is going to make him too soft.
Okay, John, you have anything to say? If you can hear us. Okay.
Okay, he's out
So
here.
one thing I keep seeing, I keep hearing, we keep referring to these when we refer to the constraints, the barriers, or the programs, I hear a lot talking about men as youth. So what about a grown man in a relationship? So because it's important that we show the distinction, right?
Right.
But what specific barriers do women think exist for men? And I'll ask that to the ladies, and then I'll give my input.
Barriers in which sense?
Yeah, that men don't want to seek the help.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's it.
I have an idea. I had to think about it first. That a lot of times, I think when you think about therapy or seeking help, that requires vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
and that requires people getting in your business and asking you questions that are personal, which can mean you having to be accountable for things, kind of laying yourself bare. And I would think a man, even women, why would they want to put themselves out there so that they can be seen as not the strong one, not the protector? Why lay yourself out so you can get shot down? So it's almost like they're opening themselves for being wounded by even trying to go there. Not just emotionally hard to get in to go to therapy, but if open yourself up to someone, because even as a woman, I have elements of this. Why would I tell people my business so that they can shoot me down? That's my job to protect myself. So why would I put it out there? So it's almost like a protective mechanism. I'm going to keep myself safe by not opening up to anybody. And for a man, I would imagine, I'll handle this. I'll handle this. They don't need to know about this. They don't need to know about that. I'll handle it. So to protect themselves or their families from ridicule, because therapists are professional, but at the same time, everybody talks. So you don't
Right.
know
Sure.
what's happening when you're not there with the therapist, or what image they have of you in their mind. So you're kind of opening yourself up to possibly being beat down by somebody when they hear, your side of the story. They may have judgment, so it's a protective mechanism. Maybe more so for men, because they tend to take on the role of the one that's supposed to protect the image. When you think about a family saving face, you're the one responsible. People look at you. Like they say, a woman's place is to stand behind the man, because if somebody gets shot down, he'll get shot down, she won't. So
Right.
there's that aspect of it. Um,
Yes,
but
definitely.
you
And being
can
at
call it fear, but I don't see it as fear. It's more protective of
um,
one private issue.
I think it's a combination because not only the protective aspect, I very so much see that, but the fear, like I was alluding to earlier, was if you're in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want your partner to look at you as being weak, because over the years, men typically do not, well, so I say strong men typically do not show their vulnerable side. And then if I'm with you as a partner and I show that because I feel safe with you, your partner may look at that as being weird if they're not open to it or ready to, like, okay, he kind of soft. I didn't realize he was that soft. So you don't want to show that vulnerability. So that could be a fear. And then, like Carl was alluding to earlier, was as far as in a group of men
Mm-hmm.
trying to keep up with that ego and that outside how people view you, because you don't want to seem weak to other men either.
Does that go back to part of that whole, uh, let me use like the jungle scenario, I'm king of the jungle type thing, maybe within your circle,
Oh,
and that
absolutely.
male dominance, and
I think so. I
yeah,
think so.
okay.
Well, not to interrupt, but I think it goes back even further than that. Look at your Bible. If we look at the Bible, what does it talk about? It separates men from women. You don't hear much about women as far as the she's in the Bible. There really are no she's. It's always a he in the Bible. History, not she story, but his story, not she story. So it started way back, and
Right.
it hasn't really changed. Men, I hate to say this, ladies, excuse me, but men are still in charge,
I think so.
in charge, and that's the way it is. Those issues where males are supposed to be dominant, they're supposed to be the hardcore, the ones that don't cry, that don't shiver when things are tough. we still have that situation now because men are still teaching men. I think either Stacy or Quinetta said we need to change that. Yeah, it does need to be changed, but it will never change. Not in this. Look at it. Christ died what in 33 will be 2,000 years ago, and those
Right.
things haven't changed. It's still history, not she story.
I agree, because I say it all the time. It's like this is a man's world,
It definitely
but
is
it would be nothing.
without a woman.
True.
Hmm.
I
Yes,
agree with that.
male.
This
Yes,
is
it's
alpha
alpha
male.
male, right? That whole alpha male type,
It's
situation, and it
competition.
is, and yeah, it is competition on that end, and it is about y'all protecting. And as women, that's what we seek. We've talked about that before. The protection. That's one of those things that is bred in you to be the protector, to be the problem solver, to take care of the family, to your family, and because of that part of it, maybe y'all feel like there's no room for the emotional part. Like there's enough emotion going on with the women. Let me just handle protecting and caring for the family and trying to make sure everybody is good. And whatever I got going on, it doesn't matter because I have to make sure everybody else.
Again, I think that alludes back to the thing I said earlier with men solution seeking. So
Right.
we're trying to push that side to self to the
To the
side
side.
and want to actually get to solving whatever problem it is.
Very true. How many group of men do you walk into and you see a man crying in that group?
Right.
Walk
Right.
into a group of women.
You only I think you see that being getting beat up by the group.
Right. And then it's a stereotype that men should handle their problems independently, which could lead them, if they seek it out, then people shame them for it.
Right.
And this compounds the fear and the being perceived as weak and vulnerable, which can prevent them from having open conversations
About mental health.
about mental health.
I agree.
Okay.
I think
All right.
that I think that everything everyone's saying is true. I do, however, feel like this generation, like the kids that are coming up, is that Gen Z. I do think the men, the boys and that's gonna grow to become men, the Gen Zers are a little bit more um, in tune with their emotions. They may not talk to a group, but they usually have one that they will um, talk to. So I think the boys of Generation Z are talking a little bit more.
Why do you think that is now? Is it because of what they've seen in the past, what their experiences have been? Do you think that maybe it's the influence now of their parents, or a combination of everything in social media?
Well, before V answers, I think we're on this road. Think about this. When we talk about gay things and straight men, or how you want to put it, heterosexual, didn't exist when I was a youngster, a teenager, a young adult. Things like that weren't talked about, but where are they nowadays? Everything is
Full blown.
say again. I'm
Exactly.
sorry, I
Yep.
didn't hear you, Cal. What was
I
that?
said full blown.
Full blown, yes. The gay and lesbian groups, all those things. Uh, it's going to be ages before you talk about men's mental health and it's actually out front. I don't think I'll ever see it in my day. I'll be surprised if my grandchildren see it in their day. That's how long I think it'll take. I think we'll come through tribulation, the biblical tribulation, before
Not
we get to
tribulation.
He said the Lord is going to come back and be gone, and
yes, before we get to a true
mental health at the
men's mental health issue. Yes,
And
just too many men out there that they carry on. You got to be tough. They carry on.
I agree with that.
I do, and I hope that this platform is one of those things where they can look back on and say, "Hey, they were trying to bring that to the forefront." I think if we try to do that now, hopefully, within our lifetime, we will see that. I think that it's important that, with our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, that we make it an even playing field, to have more balance um, for, the men and because for the women, we're gonna talk about our feelings, whether you want to hear them or not. You're gonna hear. But to let them know that they do have a safe space for that. I mean, that's something I do realize as a parent now. I foster more with my grandson than I did with my son. Definitely. I see how my grandparents' skills is a little more sharp than when it was with my son. I go, hey, so when he's having an issue, I give him that space to express what he got going on, without it going bananas compared to my son. Where with my son, I was like, just suck it up. With the grandbaby, I don't.
Yeah, and well, it's as I said, it's going to take time. I was born in 1949. You know when I actually cried? Didn't cry in the true sense. My mother died in 1996. 96. I water ran out of my eyes at her funeral, but I did not cry.
No.
I did not cry. My daughter died before that. Her sister, her twin. I did not cry. Yeah, water ran out of my eyes, but I did not cry. So I was taught that as a kid. Hey, men got to suck it up.
So you're just used to sucking it up.
Yeah, well, no, probably.
If I can breathe in through my nose and the tears are still coming out, if I hold it, it's not working. It's not going to work.
It's going to take a major effort from the women to change what's there because it was way in the extreme late 90s. I'll say 99, maybe even to 2000 before I started to cry about things. It just wouldn't happen. I remember that was inbred in me. Men don't cry.
Right.
They just get mad.
I gotta say, get mad and they break things.
And hit things, yes.
I see that in my classroom too with teaching 20-something years. I noticed the girls.
Yeah.
Oh, you're having an issue. I can tell when you walk down the hall. Do you want to go see the counselor? I would love to go see the counselor. Yes, can I go see her right now? The boys, you want us to get? I'm not talking to her. I don't need to tell her. Do you need to tell me that? I don't need to tell you anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold it in.
We got another
guest.
Interrupted V. You were going to say something, V? And I jumped in 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
I feel that as as things that were passed, so like you have the boomers and they had their kids and that's instilled in them, and then that group has kids. So each age group is, I believe, is breaking down um those barriers to now. I think that it's just talked about. And every, like you said, everything is on social media. These kids are exposed to way more
Yes, Lord.
than we were exposed to. And so what we feel is like, oh my God, they did what? To them is just like, oh yeah. Yeah, he thinks he's a dog. His name
Right.
is Rufus. Like, cause they like there's kids that identify as animals. And so I just feel like as time go on, that them being so exposed to so many different things, I don't know, they're more in tune with, what I mean, their emotional side, at least from what I see.
I
And I'm
agree
about
with
to glad you said that.
Oh,
Wait,
I
Margaret?
agree.
No, go ahead.
When you said time goes on, I was holding back because I had to think about it first. It's kind of like a house. Over time, the house is corrodes, right? Things go downhill that are physical. They get old, structures collapse. But with societal norms, the same thing can happen. It's like the water. What does the Bible say? The water and the wind hit against it. The seed can be stolen. With enough time, the forces against the structure tear it down. So if you think of like
Mhm.
the societal norms for, at least for our culture, is, if it's Judeo-Christianity and men being in charge and all that isn't going to come down because people are maintaining the house, people are holding it up. But with time, all the forces that are against, patriarchal thinking, men shouldn't be in charge, are wearing at it. And then you have the media sending messages that, yes, you can be whatever gender. So the kids who have just been born are seeing that. So to them, it's not black versus white, it's just anything goes because they're
Right.
getting
Yeah,
these forces that are
exactly.
against structure. So if you think of it this way, God set up a structure. Like think back to Judaic times, they had so much structure in their culture. Literally, like there were places that the men sat in the synagogue, the woman couldn't go to. There were things the men did that the woman could not do. There were certain people that had certain roles. Now you don't see as much of that because with time, those kind of structures tend to wear away. Or if you take it down to one person's level throughout your own lifetime, like how you start to give in to certain things, like you might have felt really strongly about something at one point, and over time you may start to either compromise or see things a little bit different way. Or you have family members once you've had children and cousins, and you start to see kids who have different perspectives. You start to see, okay, I see what they're saying. I still have my thoughts, but their ideas can start to wear on you over time. So I think it is a time thing. With time, the idea of what has to be kind of fades
Yeah, all the stuff we've
naturally.
said is true, but I still go right back to, hey, look, what, 7 years from now? It'll be 2033, roughly. Jesus
Right.
Christ will be 2,000 years old. Men are still men, and they'll continue to be men with that ego trip. I don't see it changing because within my family, what, one, two, I see three generations that have gone by. No change as far as that goes. Slowly changing in a minor, like extremely minor sense, but nothing that's major enough to see that there's a physical change. I think B says something about Facebook. Facebook is changing a lot of things, but I still don't think it's gonna do any change. Not in my lifetime for the men's ego. It'll continue to
I
be there
definitely
for a long
think
time.
it'll take a while, but I do definitely believe that we're leaning, it's coming. It's coming, but because of the time, it's coming. You are now, the big mama and grandma is 25 now. The big
Yeah.
mama can't and grandma can't watch the kids because they
They
in
in
the
the club.
club, they in the club too. And so I just feel like the slowly but slowly but surely that structure is just being chipped away, and these the boys are talking. They are talking.
Well, excuse
Maybe not
interrupting
to a
us.
therapist, but each
I,
other.
I look at it this way, V. If you look at the news media, how many mass shootings do we have each year?
A
A
They're in
ton.
lot.
Oh,
the they're in the
it's
they're in the
going up.
they're in the thousands. We're talking mass
Hmm.
shooting, over four people killed or shot, I
Right.
guess it is.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Is it women doing it, or is
Yeah.
it men?
Men.
Amen.
So I put it in that perspective. Men are still in charge. Men are still showing their emotions in a different way. I remember being a young man, early marriage. If I walk up in my patio, I still have a fist mark through the concrete that I put there at roughly age, I'll say 25, just off the top of my head. That's the way most men are, and I believe. V, question for you, V. Do you think you'll see the egotistical male change in your lifetime?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Hmm.
congratulations to you.
And I think,
Congratulations to you. You have
thank
faith.
you.
You have hope. You have hope. I don't.
No, let me tell you why. I think that way because as much as and I know like God has set forth certain things and the man is the head of the household and all those things are true, but the female's ego is no longer sidelined. The female ego is no longer like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm a woman. That female ego is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So I feel like when you have the female movement, that women movement growing, and we are empowering ourselves, we are educating ourselves, our ego is now strong as well. So that when you come together, you have the male ego, you still have the female ego, but they will balance each other out. They will balance each other out. The man will still be the head of the household, But that male ego, it just don't it won't have to be as stoic as it used to be, because even when I think about in my older age, I understand this now, but when a man goes out into the world, he has to put on armor. He has to put on that face. He has to face the board. But when he come home, he can let all that down, because he don't have to have that ego up at home. Home is where he is protected. Everything is safe at home. So I feel that the more that changes and the more that happen, I feel like that ego is just going to be balanced out by the woman that comes into the picture. Because, like you said, when God created things, the man was in charge, but God saw that that man needed somebody, and that man needed a woman.
A safe
Well,
space.
yeah. Well, V, that starting point, in my opinion, again, and if somebody disagree, please speak up. That starting point will be financial freedom, wherein females versus male, the financial end of it, there's a balance there, and we won't see that what we're talking about. We won't see it change until the financial end of it changes.
Okay.
You talking about as far as men and women making the same amount of money?
Absolutely.
Oh, you don't think that's starting to change
Oh,
already?
it's changing, but it's so minute. It's just like talking a cheetah versus a snail.
Okay, so there's one thing I want to do. Marla's on here. I want to give her her flowers. Uh, Two things. So, Vonda first. You mentioned the stoic male ego. And correct me if I'm wrong. From what you were saying, it seemed like you were alluding that the male stoic ego is problematic. That's one. Two, I kind of agree with Carl a bit. And when I say that is with you, what you're saying, V, I think it can happen, but time wise, I think it's going to be a long, long time before we see that. The reason why I say that is one, when you talk about the young men are talking today, right? And it's just my opinion. I see more and more of these young men not being men. I don't want to get I don't want to get too much into it, but the ones who are talking, in my opinion, for what I see, are they get into, like you said, claiming all these terms of cat, kittens, and he, she, and that they're changing. And in my opinion, when you see that, it's not to a still strong man that's now able to vocalize his emotions. It's a young man vocalizing his emotions, but being lesser of what we look at as a man. I guess that refers back to your stoic uh, comment you made earlier. Um, yeah, and I don't see it. So when you talked about the female ego and what you guys evolved into today, statistics show that in some points that's even problematic because it's bringing problems inside the home where, again, that vulnerability of the man with the mate, and like Carl alluded to, financially, if it's not even and unbalanced, that becomes a problem that statistics say that's what's happening.
Okay, but I think that's going to get into a whole nother subject
Right.
because financially, I think that's going to come into the play. Like if there is a woman that is now making more money than the male, then that only becomes an issue if they already have other issues
Oh
going
yeah.
on. I feel as if, because other than that, if everything is getting taken care of and he's secure in who he is, who's making the most money shouldn't matter if the household is being taken care of. But if she's making more money and he's not doing anything, then yes, it can be problematic. Or if she is being disrespectful, then and making him feel less of a man, then that could be a whole nother. But again, that's
I
a whole
mean,
nother ramp and
I
another
think that's
subject for me to get on.
I mean, I think that's understood. But I
Yeah.
really want to get a response from Vonda, what she was talking about, the stoic male ego.
Oh, it's not that I think that is problematic. I don't think that is. I'm not saying that it's problematic, but perfect example. So the way Quinn is with Cam, do you think that Cam is going to have that problem where he's not going to express himself emotionally?
Do I think he's going to have that problem?
Mhm.
Oh no, I don't think he will have that problem. It'll be something that'll be molded as he gets older, but he also has tremendous male influences around him.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like from generation to generation, it changes to where y'all are fostering and creating a safe space for him to still say, okay, well, let's take a minute, tell me how you're feeling. And then I'm gonna tell you how, you know what I mean? You're still
No,
creating that and you're
or-
still, he's still gonna have the male influence. So to me, he's gonna grow up to be a well-rounded man because he's going to be able to express his feelings but still be a man. So that's what I mean when I say like it's gonna change because and the reason why it happens is because I feel like we see what the problem was. We see that it was a problem raising men to not deal with their emotions, to not have that security around them and that safe space to say, tell me how you feel. It's okay. That was a problem. So the more you recognize that that's a problem, you're going to change that. And so you don't want to raise more men to feel like that's a problem. And it's going to look different. It's not going to look stoic. It's not going to look that way. It's going to look very different because they're being raised differently because a problem was recognized.
no, I totally agree with you on that. But what I think me and Carl was alluding to that we're not saying that it won't happen. We're saying it's going to be a long time before that happens. Because yes, with Cameron, that's exactly what we're trying to foster. But that's a small grain of sand in the giant pool of male egos. Um,
Agree.
so because you look at how, and I'll just pull out. I'm just naming one state that I see on TV a lot in Chicago, and then the gangs, and we got to try to get through that mentality. So like I said, I truly believe it can happen, but it's going to be a very long time. I don't think I will see it where that's the norm of men being very vulnerable and vocal about their emotions. And
Well, let's change it for a minute because they are vocal about their emotions. It's just not productive. It shows out in anger and in other ways.
I agree with that.
So what we're looking for is more healthier ways to express what they're feeling. Because like he was saying, we have the mass shootings, we have the stabbings, that we have all of those things. And that is a way of them expressing, and like Carl said, he hit things. So they're expressing themselves. It's just not in a healthy way. They're not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because a few things can come from that with the into deeper emotional issues like substance abuse and, like we said earlier,
Right. And
cases of
those things
suicide.
come into place. So also, right.
So it's going to take some awareness increases for men to start to speak out, and there are movements like men's sheds and campaigns encouraging men to share their experiences. It's still a challenge,
Right.
but there's a shift happening. But I think
John
it's going
said
to take a
B
while.
had a solid point, tribulation.
Okay.
Uh,
Um, okay, so I think we need to redefine masculinity,
right, which is what that looks like.
what it is, what it looks like. So societies should promote emotional intelligence as strength rather than weakness.
Right.
Campaigns that portray men discussing their feelings and seeking help can normalize behaviors. It's about showing vulnerability
And that they are
as a
human.
part of being a man
Right, part of being a man, that they can
and being
still
human.
be a strong man and still in the same, existence, express how they're feeling and be vulnerable and still. without being seen as weak or.
So how can
I think
society?
he he did have a really good point. Everybody's making great points when she said shaping, that we're shaping them, and that over time it could happen because even in schools we do something every morning. This is like nationwide, unless a school is just one that's not going with the flow. They do social emotional learning for
Oh,
males and
really?
females, where they have pretty much it's like counseling for
Social
20 minutes in the morning.
emotional learning.
Social SEL learning is actually part of the curriculum for most states where the kids are taught to talk about their feelings. They literally have a counselor come in. Part of it was started because of school shootings. They realized that people are holding on to a lot. I mean, that's been going on forever. But the shaping does make a difference, and media plays such a big part of it. I think about men who watch those soap operas, the country Wayne soap operas, and you hear the men talking about their feelings. Just seeing other men vent in a different way can help. But I even think about my own son when he was younger, the shaping part of it. We are vital to really the attitudes and how people feel because when mine was little, I took him to daycare and I remember I walked in, he was about 3 or 4, and the teacher there had put a dollhouse in front of him. And I said, he's not playing with that. Give him a truck instead. And she just looked at me, and I looked at her because it was a school's daycare, a public school. And I didn't even have to explain myself. She put the dollhouse away, and I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I know which way I want him to go as far as what toys he plays with. I don't want him to be made fun of. I know that we shape the way he feels about everything. So I'm trying to make sure I point him in a direction that I would like him to go because I'm his parent and I'm accountable for the issues he has to deal with later. So
Right.
I'm going to call that wrong, but that was what I considered right. And even to this day, he still has some of my son has the same mindset as a man. He'll say, no, mom, you told me that a long time ago. We don't do that. Men don't do that. That's not for men. But at the same time, I always made it where he can talk to me about feelings, but then that's in a household, that safe component in your house, even though we're not spouse. He has somewhere he can go to talk about feelings where he won't be shot down. He knows I'm not going to judge him as less of a man. So a lot of it has to do with who they have that they can talk to. Because I see some men that have great support groups like Brothers Helping Brothers, Iron Sharpers Iron, where they talk about issues, but it's not as open as with women's mental health. But I think it could be over time because of the media. They're making it, and it's becoming normalized, like you said, Queen. It's becoming normalized because of what we see on TV. Men and women are being kind of put on a pedestal as equal, complete equal, which they should be considered equal, regardless of roles, designed long ago by the creator or whatnot, but equal in value for sure. And also that both genders they're on a continuum where they can express all kinds of different emotions. Women can get mad, women can be strong, women can hold up a household, men can be emotional, but there are certain things that are easier to get out of certain people based on how they were shaped when they were younger and what experiences they had.
Right.
I think about myself, all the things I saw when I was young shaped how I feel about everything as an adult, from how relationships should go, sexuality, what's okay to talk about, all started from probably ages 2 all the way to about 15. And I was done. That was me setting my way in a
Right.
sense because of shaping from
And
TV.
I agree with everything you said. I think we all have, like you said, valid points. And like I said, I think it can change. I think it will change, but I still really recall that it's going to be a long time before it actually becomes the social norm. Um, like when I think about like you look at little kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go that low, but let's say a teenager, a girl,
Uh-huh.
if she's dealing with something, she'll automatically get around other girls and have a discussion about it. Where you won't see men do that.
Not even at
If
that
you
small
not even
age.
at that age, because what you will see is what Stacy alluded to earlier, is that safe home environment. I'm going to go to my mom
Or
or my
uncle.
sister or my uncle. I may discuss it then, but just openly to anybody, an open forum with somebody you're not really around all the time. That's going to take a long time before you see that, I believe.
Okay. I do like what Stacy was saying about education is key, that schools have incorporated, the mental
Mental
health
health.
piece into their curriculum and teaching children from a young age that it is okay to talk about their feelings and to seek help. Additionally, I think that I don't know about the workplace. What do y'all think about having workplaces having a safe space for employees where they can discuss their mental health issues without repercussions?
Repercussions.
because I know, I'm sorry, I know for me as a supervisor, I try to make a safe space for my people to come talk to me. I don't know about everybody. I don't know about the company as a whole, but I know for my people, they're able to come and talk to me, and I try to make sure that they're in a space where they always feel safe and protected. And and there's never any repercussions. They know I always tell them the truth, and I think for me that creates an environment of good production, and I'm able to get the work. I'm able because they know, okay, at some point in the morning I can come to her anytime, be like, look, today's not going to be a good day for me, but I'll try and do my best. And my response is, okay, well, take an hour or two, don't do anything, but if you got work that needs to be done, take care of it.
Okay. I think that's something that can be implemented. My mind says that that will probably even take even longer.
I'm about to say
The
that.
reason why I say that is because now you enter out into the world where it's fierce competition, men versus women, men versus men, women versus women. So in that environment, it can be created as far. I mean, it can be done immediately, but as
You
far
think
as a
so?
big change, that's going to take time. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
always
I kind of. Oh, go ahead. Mm-mm.
you can always create a workplace, a safe workplace at work. But as far as changing the men's culture, or because I think it's really dealing with men right now, but men culture of being vulnerable like that is even at that level, it's going to take a long time because I just really I look at the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you talking about cutthroat, you talking about competition. You dare show any sign of
Oh,
weakness,
you better
and
not.
you were just outside of the pack. I mean, and hopefully your education or your intelligence, should I say, will bring you back to the forefront of being part of the group. But you can definitely get kicked to the side.
Yeah, they would see it as a weakness. Instead of leave no man behind, you're dragging us all behind with your tears.
Well,
So,
excuse me for interrupting you, V. I know you tried
Go ahead.
before, but I've been out of the workplace over 20 years. While I was in the workplace, we had in the women's restroom a rest place. Still not there for the men's. And V was talking about safe spaces. Truly, V, how many men have come into that safe space versus women? Don't take too long now.
Well, when
Well,
I'm talking about safe space, I'm talking about something that, like, personally, like, you have to create it.
hmm
you
Okay.
you have you have to create the safe space. Is it going to be like we was just talking about the workplace? I tell people, look, we humans first,
hmm
and the job is second. I mean, and will people kind of talk to me and tell me what's going on? Sure, but overall in the workplace, you better call this number. They give you 3 free visits. If you if you can't get your issues handled in them 3 free visits, then you have to pay. So when I say safe space, I just mean like we have to create it. You know what I mean? We have to create it, and then is it more cultural? Because I work with Asian. He's very, very more open about, you know what I mean, his emotions and what's going on. So I'm also thinking now, is it cultural? Is it a cultural thing? Like, does our culture play, you know what I mean, a huge part in it as well? And if it
Right.
does, then that means that we have to do our due diligence to create a safe space.
V, I want to add on. I think it's cultural, but I think it's also generation too, because one of my members, he is prior military, but he's also the same age as one of my children. So, and he takes his mental health very seriously. So he does, he seeks help and he does, what he needs to do, and he's in touch with that. Or if he feels like, okay, I need a minute, he is very good about that. And I think it's because I've created, like you were saying, creating a safe space for them is something that kind of, yeah. I see your face.
No.
Well, before you speak up, I think we have conversations and we generalize a lot. So I agree there should be a safe space, but if there is a safe space, who will come? Will the men come? And like V just said something about the young man and somebody else. What does an old dude like me say about a person that went to that space and he's male? Mama's boy. And
It's called
us men will continue to say that mama's boy, and
the
it's going
safe
to be
space.
there. You
You
say
could probably say that too. That's how he was raised. Boy, shut up and stop crying.
The safe space is called a union. That's what it's called a union.
You know what? The union.
Yeah, it's called the union. All right. So,
are we past that
You
time?
know,
Okay, we are.
speaking of the union, let me ask a
oh
question,
Lord.
a hypothetical question. Hypothetical. If there was a way that a man could seek counseling, seek therapy without anyone ever having a trace of no one finding out, do you think more men would do it?
Yes.
I used to
Mm.
be I used to be a union official, a VP in the company I worked for. There was only 5,000 members in my union, the union I was in, just in my union. And basically, that was part of my job to hear, things like that. My answer would be no, but that was over 20 years ago.
What do you think,
I
Kel?
think you might. You might.
Okay, so let's put your job where
Okay.
it's male dominant.
Mhm.
If y'all had a union and you had and it was a safe space for them to go and to hash out maybe their feelings or their, anxieties, or whether how much, because that particular company, what you have over what, 500?
500.
Out of that 500, there's like 1% that are women, which means the other 99% are men.
Mhm.
Out of that 99% of men, how many of those do you think would actually utilize that type of service?
And it was totally secretive, where they
Yeah,
didn't
like
let
secret, like
nobody know.
nobody would know.
No, I don't know about the. I don't think I can put a number on it.
Okay, would you be in that number?
No,
And most men wouldn't. The number would be very small,
there's no need for me to go in
probably
that number.
a point zero something,
No, there's
point
no need
zero
for me to
something.
do that. But see, again, I see a bunch of soft men at work that you got to handle differently. You got to talk to them differently. They may go because when they come to another male that may be assertive or aggressive, they
Okay,
they fall they fold a little easy.
okay. So what is your definition of a soft man?
Backbone,
No,
you don't stand up for yourself. You're not assertive. Your confidence is gone. Um, you don't
Aggressive when it's necessary.
aggressive when I love that one.
It's
Aggressive
like the
when
egg experiment you do with kids, where you take the hard boiled egg that's hard, you leave it in vinegar for a couple of days, and the shell is gone.
yeah,
There's no hard left. It's all
and
exposed. It's all exposed. There's no protective shell. They're
you
open.
can always be yourself no matter what group or environment you're in. You don't try and sit there and change who you are to fit with this group or whatever. Either you like me, I call myself a chameleon. Not that I change, but I can fit in almost any situation because I'm always going to be me. But that's what I consider a soft man.
But also, that part of that goes back to what you said. Q. People are calling you Q. I don't know the nickname Q.
it's fine.
When that
Q. Well, Q. Quit. I might be
Oh,
the wrong person to say Quintella.
Sorry.
I thought you were talking about the middle name. I'm like, I don't have a clue.
No.
where you said something about. Now I already forgot what I was going to say. I'll come back to me.
Getting old.
I'll be 50 tomorrow or the day after.
It'll come back.
It'll come
You
back.
know what? When
Come
we
back
was
in a
talking about
You might
like
have to go to the union, Stacy.
soft males, I do think that that's prevalent even in sports. Like back in the day with basketballs, they do blows. It would they call it much harder fouls. Even
Mhm.
in footballs now, I mean, not saying that they don't need it, but now you got, you can't hit a person, but above the neck. You can't, certain things you can't do. So I even think like back in the day, like looking at sports now, a lot of people are like, man, these guys are soft. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, they wasn't going for any of that.
Right.
And it ain't just sports, but it's even with the military. Like Kel, when he comes to my job, like he hates to see the military now, how they carry themselves, their uniforms, things of that. And it's crazy because even the way the military handles them now compared to back in the day, if they had a complaint, it is completely different. I hear a lot of the older, guys like, that were in compared to now. And they're like, if they was in our military back in the day, they wouldn't make it, and in a lot of cases, I can actually agree being someone that deals with them on a daily basis. So I think that society and a lot of those other things are now playing a part in that. And yeah,
Oh, yeah, I see
Well,
that.
you're absolutely
you're dealing with
you're absolutely
feelings in the military.
you're absolutely right. I was in the military back in '69, and I left boot camp with medals and promotion. I got promoted another rank, and I used to get slapped, punched, cursed at. I
No,
got
you can't.
punished for everything that went wrong in my platoon because I
They can
was
slap
the
you
back then they could.
and punch you.
But
Yeah.
like you said, the change is there because they're not allowed to use foul language. They're not allowed to touch you. A whole
Mhm.
bunch of different things. And you're absolutely right, Kale, when you say you go to her work and see what military is. Uh, my son, which is, how old is John? 40,
40 some, 46 maybe.
46.
I lose track of the
He
date.
tells me about his military experience. I look at it and say, oh man, what a bunch of sissies. What a bunch of sissies.
He was referring to how they get beat and slapped, right?
Right.
So by the time I went in, they lightened up a little bit, but what they would do, call everybody to attention, make them take a sharp left, so they're out of view, and then they would attack whoever they're going after. But yeah, the guys that I see today, they couldn't make it.
Yeah.
They couldn't make
Well, I got back my thought. It finally came back.
it. Okay.
Someone had mentioned that men are more solution oriented. So when it comes to seeking out help or therapy, they're going to go the efficiency route. Why would I sit there and talk and talk and talk to somebody? I just need to get the paycheck so I can make the money, get the food, put food on the table. Why am I going to go pour my issues out to someone when I can just hold it in, get through another day, get through another paycheck, and just make the money because that's what I need to do. But if the workplace would offer a stipend for people who take the 3 days and maybe even give them a stipend when they do self-care, if they called it self-care and they made it mandatory, you'd see a lot more men. Maybe I'll talk to somebody and make up some stories, add a little things, some things in there. This is from a friend, a question for a friend, to at least get their feelings out because they're now getting paid. So they would see this is another way I can get money, even though it's bribery. They might get me to talk a little because now I get paid for doing self-care. I don't know. It's that
Right.
aspect of how is this helping me solve the problem? Because a lot of times women do just want to talk about it.
Right.
They don't. They like to talk. So going to a therapist would be gold. Whereas for a man, that's a waste of my time. Yeah, I might be going through depression. So is the guy next door, and I'm getting the paycheck. He can sit home and stay in bed. I'm going to get up and do something with.
And again, even like V said, if there was a way, it would have to be ironclad because it create that safe space and say nobody will find out. Like Stacey said, people got
Right.
it may get out one way or another, and people fear that being ostracized as being weak. So, like I said, I think it's going to take a long, long time. But
We're past.
hmm?
I said we're past that.
Okay, so Oh, someone mentioned earlier. So, what role can social media play in this dialogue?
Which we kind of went into
So,
already.
media representation is powerful. When movies or television shows
Right.
portray realistic health discussions about mental health, because that's something we should see. I think I would like to see more in a movie versus pushing for a safe word, the pronouns they want to go by these days.
I can see that working if you got enough like-minded men together and they did like a podcast. Okay, and they email out to all their friends. We're gonna have a men talk, and they
Right.
have all male figures. Okay, I can be a man and do this. They'd have to have somebody who's already well respected enough and has the hard shell. That's just how it is. Oh, I'm looking up to this person because they make the bread. They have a good head on their shoulders. They have a family. They take care of business, but they're still talking about feelings. And they're inviting me in. They might just sit back as an observer initially, but that they might start to chime in. And it could start with a group of men, and then it could be just, one man, like y'all do, one man, one woman. Later could branch out once they get enough people in the net, bring them in. But until they have that as this gold standard, like you can be this and that. You don't have to just be the man. You can be a man not afraid to express his feelings. It can still maintain his manhood. Then it would become a norm because like V said, it's shaping and we can make a difference. I think a lot of times we take the perspective of this is just the way it is. When if we take one step forward and do as y'all are doing, talking about it and try to make the change, we can actually do more than we thought we could. But if we don't try, then we can't see the results.
Absolutely.
That was great. Okay, so I think we're near the end. What do you think? I think that understanding the different perspectives of men and women is critical for fostering a supportive environment for everyone.
I believe that. Mental health is a central part of our overall well-being. And seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Not weakness.
So let us keep conversating going on, sharing our thoughts and our experiences with this on social media. Join us next time.
Join us next time.
Yeah, we talk about something else. You guys take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kel.
I'm Quintella, and this is Recipe to Chivalry. We thank y'all all for coming on tonight. This has been a great topic. Y'all really hit on some points, and I do appreciate it. Till next time.
Like, share, subscribe.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Nice meeting you, Stacy.
Yes, nice meeting you.
Good night.
Brother, sister. That's John.
Oh, I just heard John.
Yeah. Recipe to chivalry.
Love ain't clean, but it's worth the scars. Late night talk, still healing hearts. Patience, pain, honesty. That's the recipe. Recipe to chivalry. Arguments cold, but we stay right here. Choosing us when it ain't clear. From the mess to the chemistry. That's the recipe. Recipe to chivalry.
Started our vibe and trust was thin. Both had walls and let nobody in. You wanted effort, I moved too guarded. Almost lost love cause pride got hardened. Doors got slammed, silence loud. Love on trial, emotions wild. Almost quit, almost let it bleed. But staying took more strength than leave. Had to learn how to fight to win. Learn how to listen, I talk again. Less ego, more empathy. That's when love started pick the lead. That's when love started cooking me.
Love ain't clean, but it's worth the scars. Lady night talk, still healing hearts. Patience, pain, honesty. That's the recipe.
Recipe to chivalry.
Arguments cold, but we stay right here. Choosing us when it ain't clear. From the mess to the chemistry. That's the recipe.
Recipe to chivalry.
Marriage ain't magic, it's pressure and weight. Bills on the table, emotions debate. Some days distance, share on bed. Other days you're my peace in my head. Learning your language, not raising my tone. Showing up even when I feel alone. I protect your heart, not just your name. You see my flaws, but love me the same. If we fall, we don't run. If it hurts, we don't numb. We rebuild, we forgive. That's how grown love lives. The source is God seasoning you and me. Time plus 10, 3's funded degrees, finished dish, marriage and a family.
This for the couples hanging by faith, for the ones still dating, moving with grace. Chivalry ain't flowers or social displays. It's how you show up when it's hard to stay. Respecting the tone, truth and the pain. Choosing growth over walking away. This ain't fantasy, it's real life heat. Love slow cook, yeah, that's how you
Love ain't clean.